What's up, people? It's your girl Adeola. So have you all heard? A private jet was seized in South Africa carrying 2 Nigerians and 1 Israeli on a mission to purchase ammunition with $9.3 million cash. How much is that in a naira? That is a 1.5 billion naira. My people. Jay, that is God, too. 1.5 billion naira, just like that. Cash. Why do we even borrow money from China? It's a shame that right now, South Africa has frozen that money, 1.5 billion naira. They didn't just seize it, now they've frozen the money, which means it's not going anywhere soon. See how they freeze Nigeria's money everywhere. The one that Abacha stole, millions of dollars, is frozen in the US. Nigeria's money is frozen in UK. All those properties acquired by the Ogidi of Africa, and it's our fault. It's because of the way we conduct ourselves. And then, to my surprise, the Nigerian government came out to claim that the money was their money. They said the Office of the National Security Advisor is aware of the purchase. That is Sambu Dazuki. So they are saying it's legal. I'm like, excuse me? Do these people think that we're fools? If this was a legal arm purchase attempt, why enter someone else's country without declaring such huge amount? Who does that? Please don't tell us that was an omission. And who carries such large amount of money to purchase arms? What happened to bank transactions? Or were they going to a black market? And why would the whole federal government charter somebody's private jet for a government transaction? Mr. President alone has 10 private jets. None of them could work. You see, these are some of the questions that the government should answer us on this issue. But they've refused. So far, they've been playing politics with the whole thing. I know that people use cash to buy arms, but not like 1.5 billion naira cash. But you know, my greatest surprise of all is hearing that the private jet belonged to a man of God. Hey, whoa. I was like, are you kidding me? Heck no, that cannot happen. I mean, how is that even possible? I thought that he said he needed the private jet for the work of the Lord. I mean, seriously, I thought this was for gospel, and that, they said he can't be waiting at airports like other people, that he's very busy, he has to constantly travel to go and preach. So what has happened? Are you saying that they also use the jet as business? You get what I'm saying? Renting it out to make some money? See, really? Is this what they're using gospel jet to do now? So tell me, how has the man of God been getting around? Because I heard that this jet has been rented out to this particular company since August. It's possible they've rented out this jet for several months now, I don't know, but this particular company that used it in South Africa has had it since August. So how has the man of God been getting around? Or is it that he's not really as busy? But to be fair, I know that it's expensive to maintain a private jet. It's really expensive. In fact, I heard that about 60% of aircrafts operated by Nigerians are on lease. So I know that people would rent out their jets, but I didn't know that we also rent out, gospel jets, yes. Which is why people started asking questions. I was, however, disappointed by the statement released by CAN, that's the Christian Association of Nigeria. By the way, this was written by the Director of National Issues for CAN. These shameless characters, by that is referring to El Rufai and Lai Mohammed. These shameless characters went to the UK to embark on an image laundry for their political party, the APC. What? How is this about APC? I thought we were talking about private jets. The same characters went ahead to sponsor a negative report on Sahara reporters. Really? So now the media can no longer report on the story, and if we do, we are automatically seen as opposition party members? Oh, please. The aircraft in question is owned by Eagle Air Company, and the CAN president is an interested party in the company. Oh, please. I thought the Pastor Orisi Jafo owns the jet. Why are you trying to confuse people with English? If the man has a company named Eagle Air, just say so. Don't call him an interested party in the company. The line that broke my heart, though, in this statement is when he said that this is a blackmail on the pastor because he's an ardent supporter of President Goodluck Jonathan. Am I still reading a statement by CAN? Really? Because this is starting to sound more like a statement by a politician. Now that breaks my heart. As a Christian, I can't believe that CAN is now being operated as a branch of a political party. Why? People have the right to ask questions. If that private jet were to be owned by a Muslim clergy, like let's say Sheikh Gumi, or even a political figure, and then he says that, oh, he was only renting it out, won't you people ask questions? Why should there be exemptions? For those who are saying don't question a man of God, when a man of God starts acting like a politician, he cannot escape being assessed as a politician. It bothers me that right now we are not focusing on the real questions. Everyone is focusing on defending Pastor Orise Jaffo, while more than 1.5 billion naira of our money is about to be spent to buy weapons to kill people in Nigeria. Or what do you think they're about to do with those weapons? 1.5 billion naira worth of weapons, and we're not asking the important questions. Personally, I don't believe that they were trying to buy legal weapons for the military. If that's the case, we have military jets. But we all know that election is coming soon, so are they trying to use these weapons to rig the coming election? Are they going to use it for political assassination? Are those weapons for the Niger Delta militants or for Boko Haram? Please don't expect us to be quiet when recently some influential people were named as sponsors of Boko Haram, and so far the Nigerian government has not taken it seriously. In fact, Ali Modu Sharif, one of the alleged sponsors of Boko Haram, was just in Maiduguri with about 200 soldiers protecting him. You know, he's been declared persona non grata in Borno, yet the airport was opened for him, his private jet was allowed to land, and the 200 soldiers were there waiting to escort him just to go and visit a friend who lost his mother. And yet you tell us that you're investigating the man? Please, we are not stupid. If you can have such federal force protecting him, 200 soldiers that could be fighting Boko Haram, please don't tell us that you're investigating him at the same time. It's always the same. Whenever a rich man is a suspect in Nigeria, nothing happens, no shaking. The more money you steal, the more you get away with. But when 12 soldiers were suspected, they said go and kill them, go and kill them. I'm not saying that it's right for soldiers to kill civilians if they are found guilty, but is there something that these soldiers know that they don't want them to reveal? What about so many rich Nigerians that have stolen billions of naira and nothing happened to them? Or why do you think all the PDP members are saying Jonathan is our only candidate? We all know that it's not because they love President Jonathan. It's because Mr. President has proven over and over that during his administration, they can steal all the money that they want and get away with it. So they want him there. By the way, we don't give enough kudos to our soldiers. So many of them have died. I heard that they actually killed about 200 Boko Haram members last week. Kudos to them for that. Thank you so much. It's so unfortunate that many of them have been killed in the politics of Boko Haram. For family members, please accept my condolences. When the federal government is defending an attempted arm purchase that has lots of legal questions, and when the federal government is sending soldiers to protect an alleged sponsor of Boko Haram, it shows you how much the government cares about corruption. That means this coming election in Nigeria is going to be very interesting. Meanwhile, Boko Haram continues to kill people, and again, 3 million have been displaced. A viewer sent me some photos of displaced people of Bama who are now refugees in Maiduguri. The person who sent the pictures, by the way, asked to be anonymous. He describes himself as a concerned citizen, Bamala. The sad thing is, when he visited the school where these people are kept, he said there were no government officials, no representative, and no relief materials for the refugees. I'm like, what? So yes, there are Nigerians that are refugees in Nigeria. This is an entrance of Yawa Government Girls School that they're using as the camp. See how the gate is locked? So many people are not able to get in. They're actually turning people away. These are some of the people that are looking for their loved ones in the camp. Now this woman, the one on the right, is carrying someone else's little girl whose parents died on their way to Maiduguri while they were trying to escape from Boko Haram. The woman covering her face crying had just been told that there's no more room. So that's why she's crying, especially because she's pregnant. So those were just some of the pictures sent to me by a resident of Borno. Thank you so much, concerned citizen, for going out there and getting all those pictures. I really appreciate it. That 1.5 billion naira could help all these refugees. But again, what do I know? I'm just keeping it real. And speaking of men of God, I'm sure that by now you've all heard that a building collapsed at Prophet TB Joshua's church premises in Lagos. It's a very sad and an unfortunate event, and for the family members of those who lost their loved ones, please accept my condolences. I can't imagine what you guys are going through right now. Please accept my condolences. May their souls rest in peace. And while I sympathize with the family members of those who died, so many things have bothered me in this story. First of all, when the building collapsed, church members prevented journalists and emergency rescue teams from entering the premises. How ridiculous! How ridiculous is that? A whole 6-story building collapsed and you're trying to cover it up? Hey, yeah, for God's sake, accidents do happen and anyone could need help at any time. I'm sure that if they had let the emergency people in on time, maybe not as many people would have died. How ridiculous. They were seizing cameras and preventing people from taking pictures with their phones. How do you want people to come and help you if you don't put news out on time? See why I keep saying we have a serious problem in Nigeria? And when the news finally broke online, I saw so many followers of the prophet still trying to cover it up, arguing that it did not happen. It's just a media propaganda. Even when the pictures were up, haba, you could just say this happened. Pray for us. I also could not believe that they've been covering up the number of casualties. Do you know that till now, both the church and the National Emergency Management Agency are still saying that only about 80 people died, when South African president confirmed that 84 of his own citizens died in that tragic incident. Are you telling me it's only South Africans that were in that building? If this was NTA, I can accept that since I was young, NTA would never tell us the number of casualties, and I don't blame them. It's owned by the federal government. They always try to cover things up. But why would the Church of God cover this up? A whole week, the names of the victims have not been released. By now, shouldn't there be a list of the names of all the victims and their countries, probably with their pictures as well? I know that many people have been saying that how come the prophet that sees everybody else's tragedy supposedly before it happens, how come he didn't see this one coming? Well, that is none of my business, even though he later said he saw it coming, but that it was too late. See, that's none of my business. I saw the plane that circled the building. To be honest, I'm not buying into that, and I don't think that it was Boko Haram. But what baffled me is this video.
It was a 4-story building with a foundation of 4-story building, but later it was converted to 6-story building without a change on the foundation.
So according to NEMA, the building was constructed initially to be a 4-story with the foundation of 4-story. Yet they added 2 extra story. What? But then it got better, because right after that, the Lagos state government released a statement that contradicts what NEMA said. They said that the building was constructed to be a 2-story building, and that they have no record of the 4 additional floors added to the building. I'm like, what? That's a crime. If I only have permission to build 2-story and I made it 6-story, no, that is a crime. And somebody should be held accountable, because several people have paid with their lives. Now I know why they were trying to cover up this incident. And for those of you defending the man of God or the Church of God, I keep wondering, if one of your sisters were to be one of those that got killed, if you would react differently. Or maybe, let's say your fiance, how would you feel turning a 2-story building into a 6-story building? That is intentionally risking the lives of several people. That's wrong, and somebody should be held accountable for that. If not, other people will do it and get away with it. It's sad that 3 men of God in Nigeria have been in the news recently for not so positive things, yet so many of their followers are defending them as if it's okay. Concerning the divorce scandal of Pastor Chris Oyakilome, I really don't have much to say, because I'm honestly hoping, I'm really hoping that they can work it out between themselves. For all I care, they may still get back together. Anything is possible. But what I don't appreciate is men of God clinging onto the ministry even when their home is shaking. Which one is more important? Your home should be your number 1 ministry. Whatever it would take, you should always fight for your home to be first. Or why do you think the Bible says that a man will leave his father and mother and cling to his wife? It never said he would cling to a ministry. Honestly, I've seen some men of God who had issues in their home, and they respectfully stepped down from the ministry to focus on restoring peace in their home. They would actually fight to keep their marriage together, and I really respect that. The truth is, so many men of God today think that if they are not there, that the church would not go on. And I'm speaking generally now. They actually think it's about them. It was never about you. It has always been about Jesus and his work will go on with or without you, because he can use anybody. You don't even have to be in ministry to know that no matter what kind of job it is, so long as your home is no longer your number one priority, if you're investing all your time in your work, it could eventually affect your home. Man of God or not, we all need to have a balance. One should always take a step back and redefine priorities. I know that many people will say, touch not my anointed, and I already know I will get all kinds of emails this week. That's fine. Those who defend them saying, touch not my anointed, also forget the Bible verse that says God will not share his glory with anyone, and he will not. It's dangerous to make the ministry of God about you. And I know many Nigerians who worship and reference men of God rather than God himself. But you guys know that I don't know much. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. Moving on to Ethiopia. It pains me to say that it's been more than 90 days now since Andagacho Tsige was arrested in Yemen and taken to Ethiopia. What's going on? More than 3 months of illegally arresting someone, and the Ethiopian government is getting away with it? I also noticed that so many people are now quiet about the matter, which is why I like to challenge my Ethiopian brothers and sisters to please never give up. Don't give up. Don't stop protesting. Do whatever you need to do to let this government of Ethiopia know that enough is enough. Not just the Ethiopian government, but the whole world. If you don't fight for those that have been arrested, when they arrest someone that is close to you, who will fight for that person? There are Ethiopians all over the world, and I know that you've been protesting, but you can't give up now. You need to build a bigger momentum. Whatever it would take for you to get the attention of the US government, do it. If, let's say, about 5,000 Ethiopians camp in front of the White House for like 3 days, you don't think they would actually do something about this? I mean, the media would be forced to pay attention. Maybe that sounds dumb, I know, but you can think of better ideas. This is not just for Andagacho, by the way. This is for all the political prisoners who committed no crime. Remember the young bloggers who were arrested some months ago. Remember, they said that they are terrorists. These are young people that are just starting their lives. Please, let's not forget them. Let's not forget award-winning journalist Riyot Alem, who, by the way, was given nothing to eat for the first 9 days of her arrest. 9 days with no food. A woman, 9 days with no food. And she's been there for more than 1,000 days. That's about 3 years. And she's battling breast cancer right in the prison with no treatment. How do you cope? Breast cancer with no treatment. They said that she's a terrorist. And don't forget Wobshet Taye, who's battling kidney problem, also with no treatment in the prison. His wife, his son, how do you think they get through each day? Eskinder Nega, who has been jailed 7 different times, by the way, 7 times. And there was a time that his wife, who's also a journalist, was detained for 1.5 years. How do you detain someone for 1.5 years without any charges? In fact, she delivered their son while she was detained in prison. They revoked Eskinder's license to practice journalism. His newspaper was closed down by authorities in 2007, and when he kept writing on the internet, they sentenced him to 18 years in prison. 18 years. He's still there. The list goes on and on. Yusuf Getachew, who was arrested with 9 prominent Muslim leaders, and Solomon Kebede, the managing editor of the now defunct paper that is called Muslim Watch Today. You know, these are my colleagues. These are journalists. We cannot forget them. I know so many Ethiopians have been speaking out. So many activists have been protesting in Ethiopia, outside Ethiopia. So many Ethiopian organizations have been standing for these people. For years, you guys have been fighting. But I want to encourage you not to be discouraged, even if it looks like things are getting worse. No, maybe it's about to get well. There has to come a time when you would say, you know what? Enough is enough. I'm sure you're closer now to your breakthrough than you were last year. So please don't faint. Don't give up now. This is the time to actually gather more momentum and get more people to know about what's going on. By the way, so many people, when they see my video, they say, why are you talking about our country? Why don't you focus on Boko Haram? They're killing your people. I actually do. I talk about Boko Haram. As a matter of fact, I make sure I always talk about Nigeria before I talk about any other country on my show. But I cannot turn blind eyes to to what's going on elsewhere just because I'm a Nigerian. Because the truth is, if things are well in Ethiopia, it will trickle down to other parts of Africa. It will trickle down to my country, Nigeria. If things are well in Nigeria, it will trickle down to other parts of Africa as well. So I don't just see myself as a Nigerian, I'm an African, and that's what matters most. As for the Ethiopian government, for as long as they keep these people, we will continue exposing their atrocities to the world. But you guys know that I don't know much. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. Now moving on to Angola, someone sent me this video of police brutality and I was speechless. Can you imagine? Can you believe that? Apparently, those are prison guards and firemen brutally beating unarmed prisoners at the Vienna prison in Luanda. Somebody is already in jail and you're still treating them like this? You know, that got me curious. I started reading more about Angola and police brutality, and I found out that there has been high levels of police violence in Angola against peaceful protesters, against street vendors, against journalists, activists, and human rights defenders. That is not correct. Early last year, street vendors had to march and protest after one of them, an 8-month pregnant market woman, was beaten by police. She was beaten until she had miscarriage. 8 months of pregnancy aborted by police officer because of, oh my god. Then I found this video of 2 women who stole a bottle of champagne, 1 bottle of champagne, and this video shows you ununiformed police officers beating these 2 women. Now I have to warn you, this video is very graphic, so if you don't want to watch it, this is the time for you to look away. But these are policemen beating 2 women who were accused of stealing a bottle of champagne. I mean, I don't even know what to say. I can't say anything. And you know, this excess use of force is prohibited under Article 3 of Southern Africa's Police Code, as well as the Angolan Constitution. Yet, the Angolan government fails to prosecute or punish police officers who defy these laws. They are indirectly providing them with immunity. So many people don't even report police brutality because they know that nothing will happen. But I'm hoping that the government of Angola will wake up and realize that the video is going viral. People are getting to know what's going on. I know that this is not peculiar to Angola, by the way. It's in so many African countries. In fact, police brutality is not limited to Africa. But we'll keep talking about it until there's a change. But you guys know that I don't know much. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. Alright y'all, it's been real and I'm keeping it real right up in here. Until next week, I'm gonna see y'all later. Peace out.
Welcome to Forstview Luxury Hotel. At Forstview Luxury Hotel, we offer excellent service. Our rooms have all the necessary facilities to make your stay comfortable and memorable. You will also have access to internet service, breakfast, 24-hour power supply, full air condition, free international calls, free tire pumping service, and free car battery charge. So what are you waiting for? Quickly visit Forstview Luxury Hotel. We are located at number 1 Adeola Mishile off Raja Rasaki Road, First Estate, Amuwo, Odofin First Start, Lagos. For more information or reservation, please call us on 08075787135 or 08099900601. You can also take advantage of our online ongoing promo at www.forceviewhotel.com to make your reservation and payment for your favorite room, which attracts a discount rate. Please note, rooms are reserved based on first come, first serve. Forstview Luxury Hotel. Experience the home of comfort. They come.